My name is Feli Chimenyi. So, respectfully, allow me to bring you back to the fake news issue. Much as fake news is fake news and should probably be ignored and treated as such, it raises concern when certain reputable media organizations start picking on it to project an image of a country. So, how does this reflect on Rwanda, and how is the best way to confront this? Thank you, sir.
Well, it's a kind of complicated situation we have to deal with. But I don't know whether to say, on the other hand, we are not alone in this. Seems everybody is affected by this. I'm actually, it's very interesting. But that's no consolation. I have got to deal with my part. The others will deal with their part as well. What does fake news mean? Well, it means false things presented as facts about you, about any other situation. That's the meaning. And maybe it has a reason. It has this origin, it has a reason, it has, so people get involved with all this. It's very interesting in the sense that this has been there, by the way, for a long time, for many years, but it never came out as such because some people in this world, as we know it, who shape the world, had not been affected. So as long as they were not being affected, they were only affecting others, so it wasn't worth paying attention to. So actually Rwanda has suffered fake news for all I know the last 25 years. But because it was Rwanda or some other African countries, I guess, it was not newsworthy, it wasn't something to, because the powers that be who were creating it or using it or shaping it the way they want had never been affected by fake news. Until recently, when they started getting affected by fake news that originates from their own media and things like that. Originally, they were used to this affecting others, not them. When they started affecting them, then it was as if fake news was just born a year ago, 2 years ago. But it originated from where that thing always came from. It is interesting when I started seeing, I'm sure you all follow, I was seeing even yesterday or something, when some arguments, some stories were being discussed about Facebook. You saw that? Yes. Facebook was telling lies or creating stories about Google or doing something about false political adverts, then something happening between the US and Europe, then vice versa. Now that becomes very interesting. Now that becomes the fake news is the story, because it's like saying we're used to doing it against others. Now it seems we are using it against each other. So then they start. So isn't it interesting that we have this kind of situation? So anyway, let me deal with my part. Fake news is an old story. It originates from how some people who think they're entitled to do that think about Rwanda, about Africa, even how they want to shape the story about Rwanda or Africa, still thinking they're entitled to it. So I don't know what particularly you had in mind, because you have asked a general question just about fake news and how it affects us and so on. But there are particular cases. I don't know that I have to bring them out myself, or you had some in mind, but that is, you asked about the general question, the fake news. The fake news is fake news, and you have to deal with it. And meaning fake news is a reality in terms of its existence. So it is there. So we have to deal with it. Well, sometimes you can ignore it. Other times you've got to say something about it and make clarifications about a particular situation. So you've got to weigh a lot of things. So what is it? You look at what is the cost of doing something against it, or the cost of ignoring it. And then you proceed as you wish. Also, the reason for fake news is to try and distract you. So that we spend money, we spend time, we spend all kinds of things explaining ourselves about this, about that. So sometimes you may concentrate on doing what you think is right for you to do, and that gives you progress, and ignore. But if the fake news has that level that will affect people and influence them to think wrongly about you, then you've got to come out and tell people that it's not true. But we live in that complexity of things that are back and forth on a number of issues. So that's about fake news.